Hello, this is Sebastian from socialanxietysolutions.com. I am a social confidence coach and I help people with social anxiety feel calm and relaxed in social situations so that they can connect, have a good time, enjoy themselves, have fun, those kinds of things. And I help people go from social anxiety to social confidence using a combination of Western traditional psychology as well as Eastern energy psychology. And if you're curious about what that is, go check my website, socialanxietysolutions.com, or check one of the gazillion videos I've got online. So in this video, I want to talk a little bit about the power of community. So I've been abroad for 10 or 12 years, and I've lived in different places. And so I've had to start social lives from scratch several times. And that's been quite challenging. And I think that when you're having social anxiety, that is something you might struggle with as well. And that's where a community can be very helpful. Community can also be very helpful in being supported and being guided through the tough times. And there are a whole bunch of benefits, amazing benefits about a community when you're part of a particular community. And you're probably already part of certain communities. Maybe you're part of an online community. Maybe you play a sport and maybe you play football and you're part of the football community. Maybe you travel and you're part of the couch surfing community. Whatever. There are a variety of communities that you can be part of. And I've been thinking about communities quite a bit lately. And I've also done a bit of studying about what the value is of them and what makes a community positive. What makes a community work. It's fascinating, and I'll get into some of the. I'll give you a little list of the positive benefits of it. But before I do, I just want to talk a little bit about what I find to be valuable and what might be helpful for you when it comes to community. So, part of what got me thinking about this is I recently started salsa dancing, a couple of months ago, maybe 3 months ago, and I'm really getting into it for a variety of reasons. It's really awesome. And so now I'm kind of part of yet another community, a salsa community, and it's very interesting, all the benefits that I'm getting out of that. There's friendship, there's, together we're growing towards a particular outcome. I want to get good at this now. It's exciting. In the beginning, I was like, okay, well, I'll have a couple of lessons and I just want to be comfortable on the dance floor and that's it. But I'm pretty comfortable on the dance floor now, even though I'm not great, far from it. But I've seen amazing dancers on the dance floor now and how they dance and move, and it's beautiful and intuitive and sensitive and sexy and sensual, and it's just spectacular. And I'm like, okay, I want to get good at that, and I want to do whatever it takes to get to that place. So that's going to probably take a couple of years of practice, but it's worth it. I've gone through a couple of transformations, or I've found myself on a couple of paths that when I take them, it takes a long time, or it's, that's relative anyway, but it takes a period of time to get good at something or to get a particular outcome. But I know that when I actually go through that process, I'm going to get to the other side, and then the benefit that I'll get is, so worth the journey. Like, having overcome my social anxiety was very challenging, took for me a long time, but it's been so worth it. Right, and so I know that with the salsa thing, I know I can get to being a really great dancer. It's just a matter of practice, and the right kind of practice, perfect practice. Probably don't want to use the word perfect for people with social anxiety, but practice, improving, getting feedback, doing the right kind of steps, making adjustments, and so on. So I'm part of this community now. And it's so much fun because we're learning together, we're making mistakes together, we're laughing together, we're meeting up. There are different kind of meetups related to the salsa. Everyone is kind of wanting to help each other grow, and it's just a lot of fun, and it's a great way to meet new people and make new friends. And this is the salsa community. That's just one example. But before in my life, I think I'm kind of starting to mess up the timeline of this, but I think maybe 8 years ago or 7 years ago, I moved to the Philippines. And when I came there, I had no friends, right? I was just by myself. I was arriving in the Philippines, and prior to that, I had stayed 2 months in Bali, and I got really lonely because there was nothing much of a community going on here. There was just travelers that were passing through that were here for a couple of days. And so I would kind of meet people if I was drunk, and we would have the standard chit chat. Where are you from? Where are you going? What are you doing? What are you going to do tomorrow? And I might have a couple of drunken conversations, or I meet a couple in my guest house or something, but it got quite lonely. And so my goal when I moved to the Philippines was to create a social life. And one of the things that I was going to do was say yes to any invite I get. Regardless of how I feel, I say yes to it. And I did. But prior to going to the Philippines, I had heard about couch surfing, and I had tried some couch surfing in Bali. And that is where it's a website where fellow travelers meet. And that is a community in and of itself. So before I moved to the Philippines, I contacted one of the moderators of a couch surfing forum, and she then put me in touch with someone. And when I arrived, I actually had this American guy pick me up from the McDonald's and show me around, and tell me a little bit about Filipino culture. And then I got invited to go to the amazing race at this island in Tacloban, and we were drinking and having fun. And then this was all like a couch surfing event, and then I was invited to the next couch surfing event, which was someone's birthday, and I went there, and we were all drinking and having fun, having a great time. And then I got invited to go travel with them somewhere else, and before I knew it, I was part of this whole couch surfing community. And that's the brilliance about a community as well. You meet one or two people, and they're part of a bigger community, and you just easily meet people, and you have a whole group of like-minded individuals. So if you're into traveling, check out couchsurfing, couchsurfing.org. If you're curious or interested in salsa, type in salsa in the name of your city. You're gonna get lots of options. Now it might be a bit uncomfortable in the beginning, but there's a lot of support in community, and I just want to list out the benefits that I found reading a bit online and thinking about community. And here we go. All right, here are some random benefits, because it of course depends on the kind of community that you're in. But some of the benefits are, of course, making connections, building relationships, and forming friendships with like-minded people. Often you're learning new skills. So, I'm learning new salsa routines. There's the quote-unquote digital nomad. I don't like the term that much, but it's basically an entrepreneur that moves from place to place. I don't really move from place to place. I live in one place, but anyway, that's a particular community as well. And there's a lot of skills that we share. So a buddy of mine, he's a WordPress expert. So if I need anything done with my website, I can contact him and he comes to help me out. If a friend of mine, so recently a friend of mine got into an accident and she was traumatized afterwards. Well, I happen to specialize in trauma release exercises. I do the tapping, I do a variety of other techniques, so I'm going to help her out there. So you help each other out. And they learn the tapping, and I learn a bit about website development and that kind of stuff. And in this entrepreneurial community, people do skill shares, so they share their skill. You can take things away from it. So yeah, that's a great thing. So you learn new skills from other people. There's support in difficult times. Yeah, that's so valuable. You often, where you're in a particular community, you work towards a common goal. So, for example, there's the vegetarian community or the vegan community. They have a particular goal of eating healthy and avoiding, meat and sugar and, dairy and that kind of stuff. So they have that goal in mind, and usually they have a bigger vision as well of, I don't know, a whole world of people that don't eat meat or whatever it is. Next, stop feeling so lonely, isolated, and alienated, and feel a sense of belonging. That is big, That's one of the things that draws me into the community as well, the salsa community I'm talking about right now. We're in this together, and we're all learning. And Agung, he's one of my teachers. He just loves teaching that. He loves helping you improve. So even though we're outside of class, he will still during social dances, he will give you tips, and he will give you tricks, and he'll stand there and he'll dance with you, and it's just great. Usually, it is a place where you have all the resources that you need. Okay, so the salsa community that I'm part of here, there's I can do private classes where I'm dancing one-on-one. There's group classes. I can dance with men if I want to. I can dance with women if I want to. There are different kinds of places where I can go to. There are salsa syllabuses where, if you say it like that, where you can figure out how to, what the names of particular moves are. There's just, a place where you have all the resources that you need. And next, you're growing together while you're taking care of each other. So, for example, I was just dancing with this girl, and we're doing a simple, and it's called crossbody ladies left turn. And she's quite new, so she can't do the left turn. So, I'm not going to help her and say, okay, well, tell me what speed you want that to be done at. Okay, do you want me to go slower? Yes. Okay, let's do it slower. Is this slow enough? Yeah. Okay. When I'm dancing with a girl who's more advanced, she might tell me, "Oh, you want to hold your hand more like this." And for example, after a dance the other day, after a class the other day, I hadn't really mastered the move yet, and some of the girls in the class also hadn't really mastered it yet. So afterwards, I'm like, okay, I want to practice. Anyone want to practice with me? And so there, I can help them. They can help me. It's like you're growing together and you're taking care of each other. It's great. Community also has accountability in place. So the social dances is kind of what is most nerve-wracking for people, because now you're putting the dances that you've learned, you're putting them into practice, and it's not that easy. And now you're going to do that with people you don't know. So you're going to ask people to dance, or you're going to dance with them, and so it's easy to avoid that, especially in the beginning. But if you have a community that you're part of, and people are inviting you and they're expecting you to come, then you're more likely to go. Someone is waiting for you. Someone wants you to be there. Next one, encouraging each other. People give you a lot of compliments, and they want you to succeed if you're in the right community, that is. So they encourage you, they give you compliments, they tell you what you're doing well. Hey, I'm really impressed by how dedicated you are to this, or whatever. And that encouragement, it just feels good. Next, and that's the last one, I think, most important one. You have either a common interest or a shared concern. So, I'm talking to you now, and this is also part of why I'm so interested in this. I want to create a social confidence community. Social confidence is the outcome that we're after. That's the vision. That's the common common goal that we have, common interest that we have, and the shared concern that we have is social anxiety, the problems that come with it, and how to overcome it. Okay? So, I guess that's what I wanted to say about community. It's just a bit of a primer, a bit of what's going on in my head around this topic, but I'm having ideas about a social confidence community and what that will look like and how people will benefit. And I just wanted to put this out there, a couple of thoughts about community. And I want to hear your thoughts. You know, what are your thoughts about community? What would it be like for you to be part of a community that is moving towards social confidence, that's moving away from social anxiety, where you're supported, where you can connect with people, where you can make friends, where you're encouraged, where you can express yourself without judgment, where you have like-minded people all aimed at the same goal. Okay, so I just wanted to put that out there and get you thinking about that. So if you have any suggestions, comments, feedback, leave it in the video below. And just in general, I invite you to start thinking about, what community might I be joining that can, expand my life quality, make my life bigger. I'll give you some real quick examples. There's a common martial arts community. So a lot of guys are doing Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu or Muay Thai. There is a yoga community. There is an acro yoga community. There is parkour. That's the name. Yeah, parkour, where you're running up and down and jumping off stuff, and that's a community. There's a salsa community. There's a bachata community. There's a kizomba community. There are all these different kinds of dance communities. There's a runner community. There's a football community. There's, playing board games in cafes community. There's couchsurfing.org. There are workout communities. There's CrossFit communities. There are many different communities that you can be part of. And when you're part of it, of course, you want to find something that you're interested in, right? That you're going to get some benefit out of. Like, I like salsa, I love it. And, I'm a single guy, so there's the benefit there. It's a worldwide community, so anywhere I go in the world, I can go dance and have a good time and meet people. It's people that are growth oriented, that are into fun, that, want to expand themselves and enjoy. And, there's a lot in it for me. So start thinking about what might be a community that I could be part of that could be really fun. It's even like a book reading community. You've got these online, or you got these book reading clubs. So anyway, if you have any thoughts or feedback, leave it below in the video. And thank you for your time. And I'll talk to you next week again. Bye for now.